How many people drink coffee here? How many people fall in love? Alinafe, you don't fall in love? I drink a lot of coffee. Partly it's because I'm a workaholic and I need the coffee to keep me up. Partly it's because I need to bury myself in work so that I don't have to think about my life or my problems. Detachment and denial will be the death of me. But at least I will be buried in self and work and not in my problems 6 feet deep. I drink a lot of coffee. Mostly it's because the caffeine I needed to help my heart beat fast again so that I can know that I am alive again, that I am not a walking carcass, that I am not only skin and bones, that I can love something just because it exists as it is, that I am capable of loving more than just myself. I bleed Jack Daniels these days. I know I'm not depressed again, mainly because it's not Jameson or Konyagi oozing out of me, but I am damn near close. I've staggered from pretty sober to in need of a hug again. Buying bottles but won't pay for therapy again. I'm just going to pray about it again. Jesus will understand again. 2 shots, please. No Coke, just ice. Yes, I'm in a rock and a hard place, just stuck between being enough of a mess but still held together. Just enough saint to know that I'm still a sinner. Just enough church to know that the rock that the builders refused is still the cornerstone. For the most part, I am whole, but partly I need the Jack Daniels to lower my inhibitions so that I can speak my truth again. I hide behind poetry again. Partly because I am chasing after you at the bottom of this glass and you are as smooth as a Tennessee whiskey. Mostly because I love the bitter taste of life and thinking through everything I've lost and all the things that have been graced to me. I'm back on my alcohol break again. And so coffee it is. Black, no sugar, just the bitter taste of being awake. I can't sleep when I'm not with you. Thank you. I like talking to women that are taken older, beautiful away out of my league. Preferably from Liberia and taller than me. Because I've convinced myself that it's safer that way. Inside of me is still a short little boy who finds satisfaction from the attention of women that are usually above his reach. I still find gravity and its laws a nuisance, hence I'm always eager to defy it. I'm celibate. Yes, celibate, yes, for God reasons. It's not like women don't like me, but trust me, a holiness that only thrives because nothing physical has happened isn't one to strive for. But it will have to do for now. I talk a lot. I use words as makeup to hide my insecurities. I have mastered the art of spotlights because I can always keep my baggage behind my shadow. Even though my shadow follows me everywhere, I won't let you see it behind the spotlight that is this joke. If I can get you to laugh, I might get you to like the parts of me that I don't like, the not so funny parts. I spoke to a blue-eyed white girl once with eyes like the ocean and a smile like a half-crescent moon. I convinced myself that she worshipped God or something because the stars probably showed her how worship was done. She taught me something about God. You told me something about God. She said she treats all people alike because they are just that, people. And here I was treating her like a slot machine, ready to place the coin of conversation at every slot, in exchange for a smile and a big lot of winning. In exchange for a smile. There is something selfish about the human experience. We think taking older, beautiful away out of our league that is safer. Some days we even call it self-care. Play with mud puddles when we could have holidays at the beach. Some habits are harder to kick than others. So instead of practicing that which is good every day, I practice how close I can get to making you smile without having to take your number. Some buckets we kick once, and when the water of our lives spill over, there is no getting it back. I shot my shot the other day. It ended with regret and questions about what we are and who we are. If anything, we are building sandcastles in the rain. This next piece, the riff is Aristide's favorite riff since we started playing together. So a round of applause for Aristide. Typically, this is a part where I'm nervous and I'm rambling about what the poem is about, but I hope this poem is self-explanatory. The first time I saw you, it felt like we picked up from where we left off. 1,000 years ago, or maybe more, when God was molding us from clay, and you whispered in his ear and asked him quietly if he could carve you for my rib. And so he did. And so he made you a home in me. And so on most days, you feel like homesickness. On other days, you feel like nostalgia. After all, you've been here before. You are like a long lost memory. On other days, you feel like a high school reunion, without all the competition, even though competitive you are. And I am still the poet nerd that still has a crush on you, and you are as pretty as before. And back then, love meant a note written in my bad handwriting, passed through classmates to reach your desk. Will you be my date to prom? Yes, oh yes, I wasn't about to give you any other options. Love was easier back then, before men had discovered the art of podcast and would speak their mind. The second time we spoke, you could almost read my mind in the silence, as if we were there, seated in heaven, when God asked us to name the animals, and the letters began to walk and trump in front of us and began to mimic the way we sat next to each other, and they too began to stitch to each other to give definition and meaning to everything that ever existed. You see, I feel most alive when I am next to you. The third time we made love, it felt like we were swimming. And you know, black people aren't too good at that, so we needed a couple of tries to get it right. But I promised to be to you what ark is to water, a safe haven for your floods. And you pinky swore that you would be to me what rainbow is to a promise to never hurt me with your waters. And so I believe that there is another lifetime where we find each other again. And we search and search until we continue to complete each other. And then we search for each other again, picking up the pieces that we left with previous lovers after we grew tired of waiting for each other, leaving up for each other, leaving up there as if we are made of parchment and skin and book and page, as if our story was not written from the beginning. Pick you up at 8. Dinner reservations for 8:30. I promise not to be late in this lifetime. Lifetime when we find each other again. And the power man has left us, but the heart and the love is still with us. Red might be the biggest cock blocker that ever existed. Come on. And you might just be the biggest generator that I have ever loved. Come on. I hope that I will be powered by you. Let's go. running through my veins. Lines like this have never existed before, but I believe that poetry is the biggest alchemy that has ever existed. Come on, so you and me make magic. Come on. It's a lifetime where we search for each other. And I'm sure we found each other. Honestly, I can't believe we made it through that.
It was better without the lights, right? Right? Turn off the lights.
I need it for the video. Oh, man. I needed another shot for that one. All right, we back. I recently wrote this poem for a special friend, and it's called Flowers. I promised you that I would buy your mother flowers for raising such a beautiful child. I had a feeling that she would know how to take care of them and not let them die young or let them lose their innocence or the things that make them unique, like that smile or that deep, hearty laugh that tells me that this flower has been through a lot but was still watered right. I could see it on your face that you wanted your flowers too. I never said that you wouldn't get your flowers whilst you could still smell them. But I needed to get your mother first. For raising such a beautiful child. For building you enough to be able to always rise above the dirt. For being someone that I could love. I promised that I would buy her a patch of daffodils for all the hills that you stand on. Some sunflowers for all the yellow that you bring into my life. A rose for always being the prettiest among the thorns. A rose for always rising above the dirt and the mud and the murk that exists in this life. A rose because love is my favorite cliche. Some lilies because you actually like those. And they remind you of home. And so often you must be reminded that you feel like home. You are the well that I want to drink from. And I hope that you know that there is more for you to give. I hope that with this cup that you have given me, that I have drank it as best as one could, leaving nothing precious to touch the ground. As if a man in the desert looking for a well, and the desert could find us looking for mirages because our love has existed before time. And I hope you know that I will love you until the desert figures out how to make snow fall and the sky could fall and we would still have this bond. And we could take turns drinking margaritas and shots of tequila, and you would still be the potent potion that I get drunk off of. You are the elixir that the ancestors warned my grandmother about. Because how else do you explain this need for me to buy your mother flowers? It must be a spell that your smile cast on me. The way its whiteness makes everything feel like it'll be okay. It must be a spell your kindness cast on me. Your desire to bring something when you visit my home, when you are the only thing that I want in my house. It must be a spell that your sass cast on me. The way you turn humor into a weapon of mass distraction. It distracts me from all the pain that I feel in this world. And so the day has not come yet, but I hope that someday I will buy your mother flowers for raising such a beautiful child.
I'll buy you flowers from the neighbor's house. Maybe we can ride on the nature's lawn. We can learn how to grow plants, my favorite flowers in our garden. See, I'll buy you flowers from the neighbor's house. See, I'll buy you flowers, and I'll buy you flowers, and I'll buy you flowers. And I'll buy you flowers.
This poem is an ode to myself and the last days of my 20s. Shout out to Belinda for liking this poem. I thought by now I'd have it figured out. That's how I felt when I wrote those words too. Almost 30 with no house or car or girlfriend. At least a job I liked that I wish paid me more. No wife or kids, but at least I'm not scrolling through the timeline looking for my ex's posts. Still learning the art of committing. Still wear my heart on my sleeve. Liable to say the right things when drunk and not fall in love the next day. Liable to move too fast. Liable to not always be able to read the room. Pray I never make you uncomfortable over the text I sent. I couldn't decipher your tone. I said too much at once at the wrong time. That's not what you meant. Still discovering why my friends like me. Still not the loudest in the room, but I still might get your attention. Might dap up the CEO of Boeing Africa and hope I didn't cross a line or embarrass Nat. Might align with my goals. Might make up for lost time. Still more likely to catch a flight before I buy land. Still might catch feelings. Still scared when planes land. Might be tied to the feeling of being back or grounded or on runways with no excuse but to commit to this decision I just made. My anxieties are getting worse. My liver must not like me. My heart probably the same, but it's had more practice. I still laugh deeply. You still might walk all over me. I worship being liked and being thought of as a good person. Reminded that I don't like everyone, and so why do I expect everyone to like me? Still haven't figured out that part. Almost 30 and still need my mom to validate my thoughts. A mountain of what I thought I would be, Mount Potential, a rush to be more. Not enough grace to see how far I have come. Still searching for a peak, still playing peekaboo with my destiny. This is an ode to my last days of my 20s, a prayer for the next chapter. I am not where I thought I would be, but good Lord, I am not where I once was. So Lahaim, this is a toast to life. Everybody. You don't. Hey. When you. Hey. It's the sweetest. It's the sweetest. I want to love you the same way the moon loves the sun. Day in and day out, through the times and the seasons, even in the moments when you give me no reason. I want to love you even when I grow old and I develop that bag under my eye and you start believing my lies. Our love story will be a story told of how a fierce, fiery umamikazi became the centerpiece of my space. My friend Sammy is currently talking to Nat right now. He recently told me that my face seems to be glowing ever since I met you. I told him it was probably because I was reflecting your beauty, mimicking the moon as it reflects the sun. Or maybe it's because I get nervous around you and I sweat a lot. Or maybe it's because of the Vaseline blue seal. Or maybe it is because I am the moon to your shine. I am what the priests used to predict the falling of the rain, the love tears from the gods that water the earth to bring about life. You see, loving you will be nothing short of a rain dance. I want to know the heights with which I can love you. Like Egyptians building pyramids to worship the sun, you are a goddess and I am the son of the sun. So our love story must have been written in the stars by the very hand of God. I swear, I must have cursed Cupid the first time that I saw you, for all the times he shot me with his arrow and I was looking for love in the wrong places. I made a mess of love. But to be fair, love is like the room of a 14-year-old who doesn't have anything in his place, but if you ask him, he will tell you that he knows exactly where everything is. I made a mess of love, but if you had asked me, I would have told you that I know exactly where everything is. To be fair, love isn't always tidy, and so I kept my hair uncombed throughout the months of January and February. Even though I looked a little unbathed, I kept it so as a token of my love for you. And your love drove me to a desert, and I lived off the sweet honey voice notes that you sent me and the locust swarm of the pictures that we took in my phone. And I nicknamed myself John because I am a Baptist after all, and you are like the river Jordan. So I came to you to plunge myself beneath the flood of your care so that I could be baptized by your love and learn to die to myself and then learn to love you again. I want to love you the same way hair food loves nappy hair, in a nurturing and caring kind of way, so that maybe your nappy hair can grow into a dreadlock and we can break the deadlock of loving badly. I badly want to love you even when you grow bold and decide to cut your dreadlock off. I want to be bold enough to love you even then. I want to be bold enough to love you the same way a mother loves a child. And just for the record, my mother likes you, and if you know anything about her, she doesn't like everyone. I want to love you the same way government officials in Malawi like to see 4 on the clock, because to them it is a sign that they are going home. You are what I think about when I hear the words home. The sound of the TV left on, the soft caressing of the copper floor, the drip in the sink in the kitchen that needs fixing, the calling of my mother in the corridor, the slamming of my little sister's door, the softness of my bed, the whistling of the leaves outside, the barking of the dog, the closing of the gate. You are what I think about when I hear the words home. I wanted to know all the ways with which I could tell you that I loved you, so I signed up for some Swahili, Kenya, Rwanda, and French classes so that in them I could tell you how much I want to love you. But still, I felt that that wasn't enough, so I connived with the sun, the moon, and the stars, so that every day and night you would look up and read a poem written by me. And still, I felt that that wasn't enough, so I bribed the air, so that with each breath that you take, you would inhale me and exhale a poem written by me of how much I want to love you. I want to love you as deeply as this next song.
It's the sunrise and those brown eyes. You're the one that I desire. When we wake up, when we make love, and it makes me feel so nice.
round of applause for hers.
I just wanna see how beautiful you are. I know you're a star. Where you go, I follow. No matter how far. If life is a movie, then you're the best part. You're the best part. If you love me, won't you say so? If you love me, won't you? If you love me, won't you say something? If you love me, won't you? Love me, won't you? If you love me, won't you say something? If you love me, won't you? If you love me, won't you say something? If you love me, won't you? Love me, won't you? Hey. Give it up for Marumbo, for Rita, and Steve. You got the bass in the back.